Hello, everyone. This is Yoko. In this channel, I'll be sharing information in English about events happening in China that may not be widely known in other countries, based on information I've gathered from various sources. Since English is not my native language, I'll be using an AI speaker to read the content in English. I'd appreciate your comments on the video content. If you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to the channel and supporting it. Now, let me introduce you to the intriguing world of China. Today, I want to talk about the current situation where tensions have risen significantly between the Chinese authorities and Foxconn. Foxconn has many factories in China and plays a crucial role in the Chinese economy by manufacturing Apple products. However, the issue arises from the fact that the relationship between Foxconn and the Chinese central government, especially the Xi Jinping administration, is facing significant challenges. The root of the problem lies in the fact that Chinese authorities have initiated an investigation into Foxconn. This investigation is conducted on a national scale, not just a local issue between regional governments and Foxconn. It seems more like the Xi Jinping administration is exerting pressure on Foxconn. Specifically, tax investigations are underway in Guangdong and Henan provinces, where massive factories producing iPhones are located, as well as in Gansu province, which handles natural resources. In response to this, Terry Gou, the CEO of Foxconn, has started a noteworthy counterattack. The highlight is Foxconn's declaration to strictly adhere to China's labor laws in the future. At first glance, this might not seem crucial, but Foxconn has declared not to allow overtime and to ensure at least 2 days of rest per week for employees. This may sound like Foxconn is treating its employees similarly to government officials. However, for those working at Foxconn, this development is unbelievable. The reason is that the salaries of Foxconn employees are generally low, estimated to be around 2,000 to 3,000 yuan per month. While there may be regional variations based on factory locations, even in the cheapest regions, the monthly salary is roughly 2,000 yuan, approximately 4,000 yen. In wealthier areas, it might reach around 6,000 yuan. In contemporary China, this is a very low income, and it's challenging for people working in reputable companies to make a living with such a salary. However, Foxconn is known for its culture of extensive overtime and weekend work. Overtime is usually paid at 1.5 times the normal hourly rate, weekends at 2 times, and holiday work at 3 times, which seems to comply with Chinese labor laws. As a result, Foxconn employees often earn a considerable income through overtime, and their total income becomes substantial. However, if there is no overtime and no working on holidays, as I mentioned earlier, the income would decrease to the basic salary of around 2,000 or 3,000 yuan. This sudden reduction in income would make life suddenly difficult. So, although Boss Terry 5 claims that employees will not be allowed to work overtime anymore, this is more of a message or counterattack against the Chinese government, which would face difficulties if it actually happened. By the way, Boss Terry 5 is stating that they will strictly adhere to Chinese laws. Even if they were to allow overtime, it wouldn't be a violation of labor laws as long as overtime pay is provided. So, instead of saying, "We won't do illegal things anymore," they are declaring that they will give employees at least 2 days off per week and not allow any overtime, making sure they stay within the legal boundaries. They don't have to force overtime legally, so it sends a message to the Chinese government that they won't be pressured beyond legal limits. It's like saying, "If you want to pressure our company, do it within the legal framework, and we won't give in." Currently, as I mentioned earlier, various local governments are pressuring Benbei, not just at the provincial level but throughout China. This indicates that it's being done on the orders of the central government. This creates a kind of confrontation with the Xi Jinping regime, and both sides are applying pressure in a face-off. Given China's hierarchical culture, it's clear to everyone that both sides are exerting pressure. Now, why is the Xi Jinping regime pressuring Benbei? As previously mentioned, Boss Terry 5 has declared his intention to participate significantly in elections in Taiwan. If this happens, it could split the votes of those in Taiwan who support the Communist Party, potentially leading to the victory of the side openly declaring Taiwan's independence. From the perspective of the Chinese authorities, this is undesirable. The Communist Party has been working to enhance its influence in Taiwan by employing both a hard-line and a soft-line approach. They have indicated a willingness to use force while simultaneously favoring individuals or forces in Taiwan sympathetic to the Communist Party. By increasing the number of Communist Party sympathizers within Taiwan, they aim to influence the Taiwanese government toward a more Communist Party-friendly stance. The recent actions by boss Terry 5 pose a significant obstacle to these Communist Party activities. Terry 5 himself thinks of himself as a businessman with good ties to the Communist Party. However, his emergence has led to results that differ from what the Communist Party had expected. It's said that the pressure on Binbei is due to this, and in response, Terry 5 is pushing back with his own pressure. Terry, in this sense, is quite an unconventional figure, and for Xi Jinping, his personal interests seem more important than the overall state of the Chinese economy. Even if Terry were to do something that could be detrimental to the Chinese economy intentionally, Xi Jinping might not be overly concerned. In the eyes of the ruling power in China, even if ordinary Chinese citizens face difficulties, it might not matter much. Up until now, challenging the central government of the Communist Party with pressure has been quite unusual for a company like Binbei. This suggests that Binbei's future might be in a precarious situation. However, what I thought about this time is that work at Binbei seems to be restrained to a level where it cannot be sustained without overtime pay. Despite being a large-scale company with the ability to supply products in large quantities and a reputation for advancing automation and mechanization, Binbei seems to keep salaries quite low. Evaluating corporate or economic activities should not only consider how much profit a company is making but also how many people are made happy or unhappy by the company's existence. If the basic salary cannot sustain life without overtime and holiday work, and people get used to barely making a living only through significant overtime, it raises questions about the impact of a company like Binbei on the happiness of ordinary Chinese citizens. It may be a choice between a somewhat challenging life with Binbei's existence or an even worse situation without it. Such a situation, where the basic salary is so low that people can only make a living by working extensive overtime, may be uncommon in Japan. If Japan were to adopt such a system, it would be a serious issue, as the essence of politics and the role of politicians is to design economic activities that increase the happiness of many people. Recently, I heard that the median annual salary for Japanese full-time employees is 3.5 million yen. This means that half of the full-time employees in Japan earn less than 3.5 million yen annually. When I looked it up on the internet, it was mentioned alongside various issues such as aging population and labor shortages. However, the root cause of many problems may lie in the lack of a sense of security that people can live without worrying about money if they work regular jobs. It's concerning when individuals work hard every day, barely making ends meet, and it's something that should not be allowed to happen. If such individuals exist in Japan and there are people who genuinely want to improve this situation, they should be the ones becoming politicians, and it's essential that those without such intentions are not given a place in politics. This concludes our discussion for today. Until next time.